All right. So today we are going to be starting off a countdown all throughout December up through January 1st, New Year's Day, for my picks for the 32 greatest self-titled debut albums of all time, which I'm excited to do because I've been actually thinking about this for a pretty long time, and time has come to just say fuck it and get the ball rolling with it. Now, I say greatest, I don't mean that literally, because you can't really objectively define what is a better album than another, but I guess these are kind of like my favorite, maybe not quite my favorite, but the ones that I think would be considered the greatest. Maybe there's a little bit of a favorite bias in here and there, but trying to be as subjective as possible with my picks about, consistently having an album with great songs front to back. Every one of these is like at least a 4.5 out of 5 in my book, which is, almost perfect or perfect, basically. So I think I came up with a pretty good list. Some rules here, too, are I'm only going to be doing self-titled debut albums from bands, not solo artists. So no Peter Gabriel, no Madonna, no Tracy Chapman. None of that. Just bands. And what was the other rule? Oh, yeah. At least 2 albums. So no one and done self-titled debut bands like Blind Faith. Multiple albums from that band. Very first eponymous album being one of the greatest of all time. And some of my picks are going to be a little controversial. I think, once I get towards the mid-20s, mid-teens, might have some surprising choices. Actually, in the single digits, some of my top 10 are going to be a little surprising, maybe, but I think I have a good list. Also, some albums I'm not counting because I feel like they're not truly self-titled debut albums. One example being the one behind me, Chick Corea's Return to Forever. I love this fucking album, but is it really Return to Forever's self-titled debut? I don't think so. I think it's really a Chick Corea album called Return to Forever, and then they just kept the name. Same thing with like Chicago Transit Authority. Technically, that was the self-titled debut of Chicago Transit Authority before they were forced to change their name to Chicago and then call their album Chicago after that. So I'm not going to count that one either. But anyway, my first pick, number 32 on my list, is a new metal band, actually. Album was released in 1997 on Roadrunner Records, and that is the self-titled debut from Coal Chamber. Yeah. If you knew me in high school, you knew that I liked this record a lot because I was constantly listening to it and watching this awesome live video from them at Dynamo Festival. I think it was 1998, where they're playing Loco and Big Truck and all those songs from that first album that were just ridiculous. Very Neanderthal new metal, just heavy, low-tune, guitar-driven music, but it's some of the best of that variety, in my opinion, was right with this album. I certainly think that this is the best Coal Chamber album, too. The 2 albums that came after it were pretty good, too, but I don't think they compare to this one. And, you got the iconic album cover with Ozzy Osbourne, yes, as the Ice Cream Man on the front. He loved this band. I think his kid, I forget Ozzy Osbourne's kid's name, but he loved Coal Chamber and Slipknot and all the Ozfest bands. That's why they all got invited on. And this album is just loaded with so many bangers. Let me see here. All right, so yeah, the album starts off with Loco, which is pretty much the most well-known Coal Chamber song, their biggest hit. It was the first one I heard when I basically discovered them, and was like, holy shit, what the fuck. It was just the vocals from the lead singer Dez are just very, like, you know, it's nu metal, so he's kind of doing a little bit of the rapping scatting thing, but just kind of in a way I hadn't really heard too many other singers do it. The lyrics are just kind of like, what is he saying? But like in a way that's not like a turn off per se. And then, you know, some of the other songs too. Bradley, I really liked when I was younger and in high school. You know, this is very much like a high school phase kind of a band. But you know, great songs on here. Oddity, Unspoiled, Big Truck and Sway. I loved, you know, The Roof is on Fire. Like, I just thought that was awesome. And you know, some of the slower ones like First and you know, Dreamtime and the closing track Pig. You know, a lot of great stuff on here. So yeah, very strong debut. If you don't like nu metal, you're probably not going to like this album very much. But if you do, and you're not familiar with this album, yeah, do yourself a favor and check it out. It's great. So there's my number 32 pick. Did you like it? Did you hate it? What would you rate it? Put a comment, like, and subscribe. And yeah, we'll be back tomorrow with pick number 31. Peace out.